You're watching the 420 Pace Network, found at 420radio.ca and paceradio.net.
You're watching the Three High Guys with Al, MJ, and the other Al on the 420 Pace.
The opinions of the individuals during this broadcast are their own and may not be the opinions of their group or other organizations they may be involved with. All medical advice during our broadcast is not a medical opinion and should be checked with your medical physician.
Oh, excuse me. Hi, how are you?
Guys.
I
How you doing, Al?
I lit my snake in my dewdrop that I'm going to show off today. It's well used. Thank you, Dave.
All righty. Yeah, we'll be doing that.
But I lit it before we started, and that's why I've got to get over the cough.
Catch your breath.
Lay down, please, sweetie. Oh, God.
So as you can see, MJ is not with us today. It's just the two of us. So late programming changed because we don't have a motivational moment, so we won't have.
Oh, hell, I could have pulled one of those up.
Did you got one?
Yes. Well, no, they're just I found some TikToks that are motivational morning moments that are, come on out right now, twat waffle, that kind of thing, right? So,
all right.
We'll find one for next week.
Next week, exactly.
I'll be taking over the motivational moment.
So other than that, what's new and exciting going on up there in the Northern Land? I see you got a house for sale. You've invited some cannabis advocates to buy the house across the road from you?
I need some cannabis neighbors. I have none.
And the thing is that for someone to purchase that house, it's only $79,000. That's the listing price.
And the taxes are only, I think, $1,900. Taxes are a little high here because we're on a mountain and we're in the forest. Right?
Okay. All right. I noticed on your post that there was a few people who said that, hey, where's the
my friend Kurt Adamson, who is the Gizay guy. Well, he's not anymore. But,
not anymore.
No. He likes to. That's what he's been doing lately. He's been working for a company and he travels all over Canada and he rebuilds and refurbishes houses. And I guess they package them up and sell them. Like flip. Okay. A lot of people flip houses. Okay. One of the things that I had to sign. Hey, buddy. Was that I would not rent.
Hi, buddy.
Did you get that clause when you bought a house last, Al?
That you weren't allowed to rent?
I was not buying the house for rental property.
No, not
really. They actually had a clause in the real estate. I don't know if it's legal or not, but yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
Maybe it has something to do with some bylaw in the municipality as well. Who knows?
I don't know. There's no bed and breakfasts up here but me, and there's 2 hotels. People rent out basements, apartments. There's lots of them.
Yeah. Well, you need rental units, that's for sure.
Yeah. I thought about converting my basement into a rental unit, but I have to get the drainage thing.
Yes, you did, buddy. We are live. That's right.
Yeah. And Buddy listens to our show every week on Fridays.
What's that?
Buddy listens to our show on Fridays.
Does he?
Yeah.
Okay, there we go.
Yes.
When I saw those people were requesting, well, where's the link? So I went to
and for Pixie as well. Yes.
I went to realtor.ca.
Yes, you did.
And I moved the map over your area, zoomed in on it, and it shows on the map the listings. And it had
the first one that came up when I looked.
What's that?
It was the first one that came up when I looked.
Yeah, well, yeah, because you're living right across the street. So based on the map, that's why, yeah.
Yeah.
Mine comes up for this area, right?
Yeah.
So then so I went in, looked at all the pictures. I could have turned it around and said, "Hey, Al."
Houses in this house.
What's that?
22 houses. There's 22 houses for sale. in this town of less than 1,500 people.
Wow.
And that's equated to, God damn it, Ash. I'll give you a little history on the town. The history of this town, Terrace Bay, is we are almost the most northern point. 10 minutes up the road, Schreiber is actually the most northern point of Lake Superior.
Right.
Terrace Bay is a town that was started by what's the name of it? We have a mill here, okay? That
Yes. Right.
was the first northern Ontario mill
Mhm.
in Canada. And it was I can't remember the name of the company, but it was a big company. They do Kleenex and stuff like that. They don't do it anymore in Canada, but they sold the mill about
Mhm.
15, 18 years ago. And a East Indian company came in and bought it and started buying old buildings and fixing them up for their employees.
Mhm.
That said mill has been closed now. And although there are plans to reopen in the future, they hope, right now it's not. Doug Ford's even been up here to talk about it.
Oh, yeah.
And it's really sad because now we've got houses coming up and nobody wants to buy them. I mean, it's not your easy access. I've got a drainage problem in the basement. I'm having a hard time finding anybody to come. My brakes on my car are grinding. I have to wait until they come in because they had to order them out.
Oh,
So
yeah. You're way up there.
well,
But,
I thought the farm was inconvenient.
well, for those who are watching, just so you know, further on as we go into the show, we got Al's 5 list. We got a recipe on some meals today, as well as we got some news. We got some sports news, as well as some, I'm going to say, health news as well.
Yes.
Hey, Al?
Yes,
And-
we are.
Yeah, yes. And we also got some cannabis reviews. Al's got something, I've got something, and Al's got something he wants to touch on in the entertainment end. So we got some things to discuss today for those who are tuning in, just so you know what's up and coming. So other than that, Al, let's see what's new and exciting at this end. We don't have snow.
We had
have seen it.
snow.
We have
actual
seen
snow
it.
yesterday.
You had snow yesterday?
Actual, like everything was covered except for the roads. Everything else was covered in snow. This morning it was a frosty snow kind of thing, and everything was slippery. And you've got no snow at all. Do you still have plants out?
No. And I'm happy to say that I'm down to the final hour of trimming. Like,
really?
It's been a month now that I've been trimming.
Yeah,
I'm down to the final hour. I got this one little spot of some little nugs.
I felt that way at the farm, Al. I got, because that first year that I grew at the farm was really good, as you know. And I got so fed up with trimming, I cut everything down, put ropes all over the trailer, and then went home for 2 weeks. I just let everything dry. Then I went back up, clipped everything off, put it into paper bags and on the drying rack, and I went home for another 2 weeks. And then I came back.
Now, a buddy says it sounds like fun. Yeah, it's just so time consuming, and
it's boring. It's arduous.
Like everything else in your life can stop because you're trying to get everything trimmed, right? And it just because you want it trimmed, you don't want to sit, hanging all winter long.
I seriously am considering getting one of them trimmer gizmos.
Oh yeah, I've got one. I have access to one, I should say.
Yeah, I absolutely hate trimming because it's twofold. Either you trim really badly, and the minute you give your friend a nug, they go, "What the fuck?" So you're embarrassed. Because I mean, I'm trimming for myself. It's not to give to anybody
Correct.
or anything.
Correct.
So I don't care if there's some hairs, leaves sitting there. That I can pull
Right.
those off before
Well, last week I did a review on my friend's papaya from British Columbia, and like that was stuff there was just like obviously it was hand trimmed because there's no way you're gonna get that fine out of a machine.
Well, I had a conversation with Laurie McEachern a long time ago.
Mhm.
She gave me. I went to an event, not an event, a gathering in Peterborough with the whole. This before legalization.
Correct. Yeah, I know the event.
Yeah, with a whole bunch of people there. Sam Malachi and Fabian Henry was there. Even I mean, he's disappeared now, but actually, I just saw him post something the other day.
Jennifer.
Jennifer Pixie. No, Jennifer Collette was there. Yes.
Yeah.
A whole bunch of who's that of LPs that were coming into the market, as well as us folks, the community folks. And she gave me some samples to bring home. And when I got home, there were leaves on it, and I was like, "What the hell?" And it's because it's hers.
It's hers. That's right.
And
that's the way she liked trimming it.
But
and
also,
some people leave that on because there's lots of trichomes.
I was just going to say, a lot of people leave those leaves on because of the trichomes and because it adds. There's more CBD in the plant, right? In the leaf, right? Is there not? But yeah, it adds to the trichomes.
Yeah. And some people just they don't want to trim it right down.
Some people don't care.
Yeah, some don't. Exactly. What I have found though with the machines, yes, they are a big, huge time consumer. There is no doubt about that.
Trichomes.
And if I was somebody who was growing a bunch of plants outside, it would be machine would have to be done, because doing it by hand, unless you're going to hire a bunch of people to come in and trim your crop for you. Like I saw one patient's outdoor garden was well over 100 plants. I'm thinking like, holy smokes, without a machine, how do you trim that by hand?
It becomes a full-time job.
Yeah, exactly. They don't do anything else but go to the
bathroom. I know a lot of people that Puff Dog, he spends time with his plants every day, and he talks to them, and he listens to music with them, and he feeds them, and he kisses them goodnight.
You love your plants, they'll love you back, is what my motto is.
This is what they say, and I wish I could find out, but I can't do that until I don't have a swimming pool in my basement.
Yeah, it's unfortunate.
I don't even want to try, because sure, I might be okay, right? What happens if I get halfway through and I get powdery mildew because of the water in the basement, right?
Yeah. Now, is your room actually in water?
Above. My room, the room is on a platform in the basement.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So half the basement has a platform, or has just concrete, and then the rest is a raised, because I think at some point it was a wet basement.
Correct. That's what I was going to say.
That was an actual bedroom at one point down there.
Oh, I was going to say maybe it was for storage to keep it up off the ground so it wouldn't get wet.
There was an actual bedroom down there.
Oh.
Yeah.
Carpeting,
the closet, the whole thing. What's that?
Be waking up in the ocean. Oh, and but yours has got sewage. Well, not solids. Right
now, what's happening is it's the P trap that's overflowing.
Yeah.
From the drains, half the house is going out Thank
Yeah.
God is the bathroom.
Good.
It is clogged, but it chugs its way out.
Yeah.
And then, but the problem is the kitchen, the washing machine, and the dishwasher, just come up the drain in the basement.
Yeah. Okay.
So
Bugs and food particles and rotten food that's gone shitty in the ground while it's been waiting to come through.
that's
Hey, it smells
Yeah.
good.
Thanks for the recap.
All righty. What do you say we take a 23-second break and we come back with your list?
It's not
All
long
right.
enough.
Oh, your
Go
list
ahead.
is long enough. We'll be right
Yeah.
back. All right. Gotta find the right button. There we go.
It's certainly high on the list.
Because I'm high and I have a list.
You have a list.
I'm high and I have a list. It's not really a list. What it is it's a video. Let me pull this up here. And it is all about cannabinoids.
All righty. Let's watch it.
So let's watch it. Yeah.
Just so you know.
Go ahead.
Okay. Buddy Weed says that he had 15 people cleaning buds full time for 3 weeks to get his garden clean.
Well, I
buddy.
used to go to Mama Hawks and trim, and there were, a handful of people there.
Oh, yeah. Well, I know I used to go every Tuesday, Token Tuesdays, when I first got sick. This is back in the early 2000s, and we would go there and trim plants for a friend of ours. But yeah, go hit the button.
All right.
We have a whole field of beautiful hemp plants, and these hemp plants create what is known as cannabinoids. There are over 100 cannabinoids that can be found within the cannabis plant. Cannabinoids can be found in other plants. They're found in cacao, so that's why when we eat dark chocolate, we feel great. But cannabis is definitely the plant that can produce the highest levels of cannabinoids. There are cannabinoids that I'm sure you are familiar with, such as THC, CBD, and some lesser known ones like CBG and CBN. These are all acronyms. THC stands for tetrahydrocannabinol, CBD for cannabidiol, but these are all compounds that are found within the plants, and our bodies actually interact with these compounds. Why are we having these reactions to them? It's all because of this system called the endocannabinoid system.
In just 24 hours, you'll find 1,000 euros deposited into
Oh,
your
come
account.
on.
Oh, you got a commercial.
Daily for life.
The endocannabinoid system, it's a homeostasis controlling system, basically is our physiology and how we keep ourselves in balance. We have a variety of endocannabinoid receptors, mostly CB1 and CB2, and they're located throughout the body. CB1 receptors are mostly in the central nervous system and parts of the brain. CB2 receptors are mostly in the peripheral part of the body, in the skeletal system, in the GI tract, and the spleen, and the testes, and the ovaries, and they control a number of other processes. We do make our own endocannabinoids that play a role in the things like mood and appetite and emotion and digestion and inflammation and immunity. But we could also tune up some of that homeostasis if we're lacking it by use of phytocannabinoids, phyto meaning plant. So we have plant-based cannabinoids, which we all know as marijuana.
Where do all the cannabinoids come from? CBG, or cannabigerol, CBGA in its form when it's in the plant as an acid, is what we know as the mother cannabinoids. All the cannabinoids come from CBG, and over time, the plant has a gene that converts those cannabinoids, the CBG, into both THC and CBD. In our process, we focus on using the buds, which most of the cannabinoids are within the flower of the plant, and we also use the leaves, but the sticks and stems aren't really useful for extracting cannabinoids. In order for us to extract CBD from the plants, we have to first dry the plants. We actually hand harvest every single plant, and then we hang dry them in our barns. And it takes about 10 days to 2 weeks for them to dry down, slowly cure those cannabinoids, because cannabinoids and terpenes are highly volatile, meaning when they're mixed up or there's heat applied to them, they will dissipate. In order to extract the cannabinoids, there are a lot of different ways of extraction depending on what the finished product is. We use what is called ethanol extraction. We basically start first with a wash. We load a bag of ground hemp into a centrifuge, and that's going to rinse all the hemp leaves in ethanol. And that ethanol will extract the CBD, other cannabinoids, as well as the terpenes, and then it goes into what's called a rotovap. And a rotovap is a slowly circulating vessel. It's over very, very low heat. And that heat slowly evaporates off the ethanol, which then condenses onto the coils. And what's left at the end is just the oils. The difference between a marijuana plant and a hemp plant is the level of THC found in that plant. An industrial hemp plant is identified as a plant that produces less than 0.3% THC. A normal marijuana plant has about 15 to 20% THC in it. And sometimes these days you're seeing them up as high as 25 to 30%. So THC is the cannabinoid found in the cannabis plant responsible for giving you that high effect. As humans, we use cannabis recreationally, but it can also be used medicinally. Because our plants are at less than 0.3%, you won't necessarily get that high feeling. However, the THC that's in there is extremely important for what's known as the entourage effect.
For anyone struggling with ear ringing, do not drink cold water. You may not know this, but the biological reason why some people struggle with ringing, buzzing, and swishing sounds known as tinnitus has nothing to do with
The plant itself has about 500 compounds in it, a couple hundred cannabinoids, and there's also a couple hundred terpenes. It takes all of those, the whole goodness of the plant, to have a maximal benefit.
Mhm.
Terpenes are the smells that we get from plants. Lavender, for example, the terpene that's responsible for the smell of lavender is called linalool, and linalool is found in cannabis. So is something called myrcene, which is found in mangoes, also found in cannabis. So you're looking for terpenes to give you a full spectrum oil, as well as cannabinoids. And the most important, I think, for a full spectrum oil is the THC that's in there. So CBD, just like THC, comes from the flowers, the buds of the plant. And CBD is mainly used for the following 4 things: anxiety, sleep, pain, and inflammation. CBG, just like CBD, can be found right in the plant. We actually have varieties of hemp that are CBG dominant. From our experience with CBG, it gives energy, mental clarity. CBN is different than CBD and CBG because there isn't a CBN dominant plant. CBN is actually degraded THC. THC oxidizes and converts into CBN. And so if you've ever smoked old weed and you felt tired after, it's probably because the THC has converted into CBN, and CBN has sedating effects. So it makes you more sleepy.
Nothing's 100%. There's no chance of overdose using cannabinoids. The part of the brain that controls respiration can be impeded by opioids and cause overdose and death. There's no cannabinoid receptors in that part of the brain. There's opioid receptors in that part of the brain. The cannabinoids work for everyone. I would say the response rate is between 80 and 90% when I certify patients. It's not a lifetime certification. In New York, it's a year at a time, and I'd say 80% of patients recertify. The response is pretty overwhelmingly positive.
If you're thinking about trying out cannabinoid therapies, the first thing I would recommend is reaching out to your doctor, because there are different interactions with different medications that you should be aware of, and hopefully your doctor can help you through that. Everyone's systems respond differently to cannabinoids in general. What we recommend is starting low and slow. It takes about a week to start noticing any kind of difference, and we generally recommend taking CBD every single day for a month before making a judgment as to whether or not it works for you. It's not an instant remedy. You're not going to all of a sudden feel like on top of the world after a day of taking it. It takes commitment and it takes routine, and it's something that you have to make sure fits into your life.
That was good. I gotta get myself unmuted. No, lots of information in there.
One a couple of things I just want to bring up on that with regards to your doctor. I found that my doctor was a rare case in where he wanted to learn.
Mhm.
So he played along and followed along. The doctor I had at North wanted nothing to do with cannabis. Even went to the point of looking at the physicians and surgeons post on the website stating that it is not recommended for use as a medical alternative. The reason I'm bringing it up is because I have a doctor's appointment on Thursday with a new doctor, an emergency doctor, like not a clinic doctor, not a doctor's office. So it'd be I'm a little nervous on that conversation.
Yeah, you know, in the States or here in Canada, if you want to access a medical program, then yeah, you need to talk to your doctor.
But doctors,
I had my family doctor. I talked to my family doctor and my specialist. And
I'm finding doctors don't know anything about the actual plant itself and the cannabinoids or anything. And if at all, they may know just from doing it over and over doses. That was my doctor's big concern when we first went into it. He didn't know anything about doses. I said to him, but if I asked you for pain pills, you'd be on it. He said, well, I know how to dose that.
Yeah.
So
well, my family doctor, he said no because you couldn't guarantee same dose. He says, you know, if I give you a prescription for a pill, each pill is the same amount is in each pill. But when you smoke a joint, there's no guarantee that each is going to be consistency in what you're getting. So my family doctor was no, but my specialist, even though he said no, he agreed he knew the benefits. He just wanted to try the conventional route first. So then I asked him again down the road, and you know, he said yes for 15 years. So
yeah, my doctor said, unfortunately, my doctor has retired after 35 years of he broke up with me.
Yeah. Another thing, I saw the equipment there they're making the oil in. I see that down at Legacy 420. When you go into the lab to do a tour and stuff, they just had a university college or something that had gone through there. So I'm sure that they had seen the equipment to do the extractions.
I've been on that tour a couple of times.
Yeah.
And I've even seen the concentrate room.
All right, but overall, there was
it.
lots of good information in there. You know, the difference of where the receptors are, the CB1 and CB2 receptors are within our bodies, and any research I was doing when I was looking for particular strains, Afghani seemed to have the CB2s, and that's where I headed. So
we are my niece Emily, who has type 1 diabetes and now seizures. And she is at the very big, her mom is at the very beginning of having conversations with Lori and Cheryl.
Yeah.
About Linaloo. Because that one seems to help control seizures.
Oh, yeah. Cheryl's also, if it's the same Cheryl that I'm thinking it is, she's also dealing with micrograining cannabis.
Yep. And we're going to talk to her about that as well. Yep. And
Yeah.
her daughter Haley is very, very well known in the community as well.
Correct.
For her issues with seizures over the years. She's one of the Canada's.
Well, don't forget, they sent Haley home at the age of 15 and to tell her mother to say goodbye to her over Christmas.
Yeah.
And here we are. I think it's 16 or 17 years later. You know,
I think she's just turned 30 or in her 30s now.
She's just in her, yeah. I think she's 31 or 32.
I was going to say 31. Yeah.
Yeah. So
and you know, she's my cousin Shira suffers from grand mal seizures to the point where she's had half a dozen or so or more operations on her brain to try and control that. And she's tried cannabis, and because of the situation in New York, it was hard to obtain and it didn't work for her. So she's on conventional methods, I guess.
Yeah. I see we got some messages in during the video. Buddy Weeds or Buddy there. He says that gotta wonder how many of the over 100 cannabinoids are studied. Not enough of them, buddy. Not enough of them.
And I would say less now, more than now that Raphael has passed. So
yeah, that's true.
I mean, although I'm sure his team is carrying on.
Yeah, Buddy says that I only test for 9 cannabinoids with my testing.
Which ones are those, buddy?
Yeah, what are you testing for?
It'll take a minute.
yeah, it will. It will. All right, we're talking about taking a minute or two. Let's move on. I didn't play that promo I was going to play. So we're right into the high list. So yeah, here we go. We're going to play the promo and we're going to move on to the next segment.
Kalido.
Are you looking for non-stop, continuous cannabis and psychedelic programming? If you are, then turn your browsers to 420radio.ca or paceradio.net, where you will find the 420 Pace Re-Rolled Saturday. Everything gets started at 8 a.m. Eastern Saturday morning.
And now for some more peanut butter recipes from Al.
No peanut butter. No peanut butter today. No snacks. No beverage that I'm aware of. But I can tell you, today's recipes are gourmet dishes. Hey, gourmet! How often you got a full dish of cannabinoid?
I've actually been to a cannabis dinner before. So
there you go. Yeah. Now this beginning of this, it tells you how to make the butter. It tells you how to make the oil, as well as you see me scrolling down, and it talks about how to make olive oil, infused olive oil. So I'll put this link in our comment section. But as far as some recipes, they're talking about chicken soup with canned dumplings.
Oh.
Medicinal split pea soup.
No.
Medicated French onion soup.
Maybe.
Sesame mushroom bourguignon.
Oh yes, that would be a definite yum.
Italian canna dressing. You can put Italian dressing on all your salads, and enjoy it with a little special kick, right?
Yeah, you could, if you had some oil, cannabis oil made up, you could just drizzle it in just about anything.
Yeah. Cannabis, spinach, and artichoke dip.
No, thank you. No. Just say no to artichoke.
Okay. Baked apricot brie.
Ooh. Yeah.
They say the dish takes creamy brie and combines it with apricot. Apricot preserves with slabs of canned butter.
You can skip the next one.
Cannabis crab ragoon. Sourdough stuffing with sausage, apples, cranberries, and pot.
Okay. Yep. Sure.
Sounds good, eh?
Oh
Thanksgiving
God.
is for your
In a turkey.
Thanksgiving feast.
In
Down in the U.S., that's coming up, right?
that's
Thanksgiving.
this weekend, I believe.
All right. Cannabis infused pasta with clams and green chives.
Chives.
Yeah. Chicken
Clams.
pot
No.
katori.
No clams for me. Cacciatore.
Uh,
Pot cacciatore.
yeah, with chicken. Sesame crusted AHI-THC tuna.
No, thank you.
I've actually cooked fish in the frying pan or in tinfoil as well in the oven, and put infused cannabis butter in it.
Yeah, no, I'm not a big fish fan. But you could smother a steak in can of butter just as easy.
I'm not sure what this next word is. Ganache.
Ganache.
Ganache. All right.
Yeah, probably a ganache.
THC trout amidine.
No, thank you. No, thank you.
And then now we got into the cannabis infused pastry. So we've had hors d'oeuvres, we've had some main courses. Now we're getting into the
hors
d'oeuvres. Yeah, quiche, flaky veggie tart. It doesn't even. Yeah, is that leaf laying on the top of that?
I don't know. Maybe.
I don't know. It says saute leeks, alope peppers, and Swiss chard.
Yeah.
Stromboli with weed.
Ooh, that might be yummy.
It looks like a cinnamon roll, but
It's a stromboli is an Italian. It's like a rolled pizza.
Yeah, that's what it
in a
says.
dough and yeah.
Special spanakopodi.
Ooh, that might be yummy. That's a spinach and egg kind of thing, I think.
Is it?
I believe so. Let's see what it
spinach,
says here. What's it say below?
Cannabis infused pastry to add to your repertoire. At this rate, you can start your own cannabis bakery. This is comfort food at its finest, combining spinach, rigatoni, and marijuana in a flaky phyllo dough.
It's like a quiche.
Yeah, okay. And that wasn't even desserts. I see now the desserts are coming up. So those are just, this is just nonstop food for dinner. Cannabis caramels.
Yes, I've had
Very
those before.
popular.
Those are yummy.
Strawberry rhubarb pie.
Not a fan of rhubarb, but I like the strawberry part of it.
I like strawberries.
Ooh, what's this one? Lemon bars.
Almond lemon bars.
Oh, yum.
Mm.
Can you eat that?
Minus
the nuts.
I can't have the nuts.
Yeah.
If there's any nuts in it, I can't have it.
Okay.
All right. I think that's it, guy. That's it. There we go.
Mm.
So not once did I say the word peanut butter in those recipes.
You know what? I'm actually surprised with the number of desserts that were there and meals that were there. There was nothing with peanut butter.
Nothing with peanut butter, even those desserts and all that stuff. Yeah.
So Buddy has answered our question here.
Yes.
CBNA.
CBC, CBG, THCV, THC, CBN, CBD, CBGM, and Guarano. Guarano? I haven't heard that one.
Yeah, I've never heard of that one before.
No. Well, there's over 100 of them, so there's very good.
When we started doing
a lot of them we've just never heard of.
When we started doing this 20 years ago or so, there were only like 40, maybe 20.
The numbers were much lower, correct?
Oh God, yeah. And then as time went on, Raphael Mechillam found, and his team found more and more and more. He was the one that was pushing the envelope on all the cannabinoids, as Chris
Buddy says Greeno. Greeno? That's how you pronounce it.
Grinnell.
Grinnell.
Grinnell. Grinnell. Grinnell.
Thanks, buddy.
That's Alan stereo for you. Grinnell.
So what's the benefits of that cannabinoid? Being that Al and I have never heard of it, so let us know, buddy, if you got that information, and we'll. No, that's perfectly fine, buddy. You can be a spell checker all you want, because we're having problems pronouncing it, no matter how you spell.
Al's having problems talking today. Never mind pronouncing shit.
Okay, so there we go. Recipes. I will take those recipes or that list
and shove it up where
I will put that in our comments.
Yeah, good idea. What does Grinnell do? What is it good for?
The benefits. Yeah.
Benefits. The benefits.
That's right.
Rosa is right behind me, and she's slowly sneaking over towards the cat's food and litter box. Just sneaking.
Slowly. Like, looking for some treats. There we go. I just put the list out there for everybody.
She's halfway there already.
All righty. I think we're probably... Anything else you want to discuss on the recipes?
I'm going to use... I made a mixture when I burned myself last summer. Right. Or I guess it was at the beginning of the summer. I made a mixture of extra virgin olive oil and rosin, I believe, and used it, and it really helped with the scabbing and the healing and all that.
Good.
But I'm gonna so it doesn't go bad. I'm gonna make some cookies this weekend, I think.
Cookies.
I'll use it instead of butter. I'll use the olive oil instead of butter. It'll taste a little different, but hey.
You can do a review next week on your own cookies.
If I'm still alive, sure.
If you're awake. Alrighty. Done that. Done the recipes. MJ is not here today, so we don't have any healthy habits other than keep consuming.
Well, I have a few unhealthy habits that we can talk about.
Do you have some healthy habits we can talk about?
No, I have unhealthy habits.
Oh. Oh, there's lots of them out there. There's no doubt about that. No doubt about that. All right, let's move on to our next segment, and here we go. All righty, product review time. We've got some smoke and we've got some tools to smoke with.
Did you call me a tool, Al?
No, I'm just saying what Dave calls his
let's change that conversation. It's getting a little naughty. Talking about Dave's tools.
What do you think about that? All right, so you've got.
I have the same thing that you have right behind you, except for it's not as clean. It's well used. This is the Dewdrop, and the Dewdrop is maybe you could show the Happle, Al.
I'll have to get it out of the box.
Oh, you don't have one out of the box. Okay, so anyways, the Dewdrop is much like the Happle, except for it includes water. And so, I'm not a big bong person. So, and again, as Dave, maybe you could pull up the instructional thing that you did there with Dave talking about the Happle, because it's the same thing as a Happle, except for it's got water, and you put your hash on the end there in the form of a snake, as thick or as long as you can get it in there. And if you're a hash partaker, I would recommend one of these things. I'm not sure of the price. You'll have to check up.
He estimated for the dewdrop would be $100.
Okay, and the Happle is
55.
44 on OCS, I believe, or 54, something. Like that.
Yeah, it was
On the OCS
55.
website.
Yeah, it was 55 at the store.
These are not available on OCS yet, but the Happle is. If you're a hash smoker, pair it with the Nugs old school hash, which I have in here now. And
MJ liked it last week.
My God, was she baked?
Yeah, I know, eh?
So yeah, that's the dewdrop available on the OCS as well as at the other. So they're on the Nugs website as well as I can't remember the name of it.
Oh, Canara Swap.
Cannabis Swap. Canaswap.
Canara Swap.
Anyways, you can hit Electric Dave on Electric Dave on Instagram if you like to get a hold of one. If you can't find it on the OCS, it is available in a lot of different stores. Where I don't know, but I'm going to try and get him up here as well because he's trying to go for an inexpensive, actual working bong that if you drop it, no hablo breako.
Well, that would be very nice. I'm going to run that clip that you asked me to run on the Happle. I'm going to run that once we're done the reviews. We'll use it as a commercial break, being it's just over 2 minutes long.
And then you stick it back in.
Yeah.
And watch it fill up with smoke.
Yeah, I know, eh? Isn't that nice?
Yeah, that's half the fun is just sitting there watching it fill up with smoke.
Watching it flow. The what do you call it? Waterfalls, how it comes around the outer edge and drops down.
Well, if it was cleaner, you would see.
Yeah. That's what happens, unfortunately.
Now, don't drink the bong water.
No, don't drink the bong water, man.
Have you tried the dewdrop yet, Al?
Yes, I have. I really enjoyed it.
I only have a dewdrop. Which do you prefer?
Okay. I'm going to pull up the website. I just got to punch in this stuff.
Okay, while you're doing that, tell me which you prefer.
Oh, geez. I guess it comes down to what I'm doing. If I'm going to somebody's place, it seems nice not to have to worry about the water. And I would, maybe take the Happle at that time. But sitting here at home with
You'd prefer the water?
I would probably do the water, yeah.
I prefer the water, just because it's a little easier,
right?
And if I I prefer the water. I have my Student glass that I don't even put water in it.
Oh, do you?
No, I just use it as a bong.
Oh, okay. Dry bong. Yeah, here's
I'm not trying to impress anybody.
Here's the link here.
There we go.
Not the link, but this is the website here. You can see the Nugs over here, right? Shot by category, clothing. There you go, right here. Here's the Happle.
There you go. Right there. Oh, and there's the dewdrop. I just saw the dewdrop as well.
Right over here, yeah.
Now one thing that you can do with these
$99, Al.
You can add an email to this. I noticed that Dave was using an email on his while we were doing our segment.
Yeah, he can do you can use an email, a banger, the hash, obviously. And how come that picture keeps disappearing like that? There we go. And you can also, if you want to, you could put a bowl in it and smoke cannabis.
You could do shatter it.
Yeah, it's a multi-purpose. It's a tool. That's why Dave calls it a tool.
And if you like coughing,
tool. There you go. Buddy says he's got to get one. I need a new one. Buddy. And the thing about this, buddy, is that you're just straight hash. You're just smoldering a snake of hash.
I am.
You know what I'm going to try is I've taken because of my trimming. I've got a collection of trimming of scissor hash. So I'm going to try those there. No, and see how that works. So, but there you go. There's the dewdrop.
Your cuttings.
Pardon me.
You should squish some of your cuttings.
Oh yeah. That's in the works too. That's in the works.
Al has my old squisher.
Yeah, I just don't have
it's not leaking.
No.
Son of a bitch, eh? The whole time I had it, every time I use it, it leaked all over the fucking place.
Yeah. Okay, now I'm just gonna get back to a second here.
Coughing, but I'm using my dewdrop.
You do your dewdrop thing. And
how much does a dewdrop drop if it
have another drop? Yeah. How many drop does the dewdrop drop before it drops you?
There was 3.
3. Okay. The question, Buddy, we asked Buddy what about that
cannabinoid. That word, right. The cannabinoids.
This is what he says. He says, all I know is that 96% of the tests are less than 0.1%. So that's really small. In most of the tests, I do what everyone just wants to know: how much THC, THCV, and CBD counts are.
Are you using a portable tester, or are you going to a lab? We'll get back to that.
We'll get back to that. Yeah. Okay. Now, I have a product as well to review.
Oh, we didn't do yours yet.
Correct. That's why I just moved us over. So I moved us around so I can blow myself up. And what I've got here is a vape
Al just
pen.
gave himself a blowjob.
from Vortex. It's a square disposable vape pen. Okay, it's rechargeable.
Oh, is it? Is it?
Yeah.
Is it? It's reloadable.
No, it's not refillable. It's you. Usually, if you get a gram in a disposable pen, it can be charged because the battery may not last for the whole gram. So
I've recently found a whole bunch of old ones, and not one of them lasted the same amount of time.
Yeah, there's the window so you can check your level.
Cool.
Now it says here, this one here, okay, is vanilla boba, B-O-B-A, pure live resin.
Boiba, yeah.
Boiba, yeah. THC they say is at 70%, no, 78%. CBD is 2.6%. Its ingredients are natural flavors and cannabis extract. It doesn't say flavor agents.
Flavor agents?
Yeah, I've seen that. So
I do like that a lot of companies now are putting the terpenes on the label. I do like that. So what is you're just trying that for the first time? What do you think of it? Lots of smoke.
Yeah, lots of vapor there.
Sorry, vapor.
A bit of cough. Vanilla.
That's a rosin, right? Not a isolate or a distillate.
Yeah, it says resin.
Resin.
R-E-S-I-N.
What's the difference between resin and rosin?
The process. One has what do you call it? Uses a solvent for an extraction.
And one is with a press and one is with a solvent.
So you're looking at, whether it's
you stop.
Hmm?
I'm just answering your wife.
Oh.
She told me to stop. I said, no, you stop.
Don't tell Al to stop. He's alrighty. Yeah, so small fits in your hand.
You could
You know,
sneak
for
that
anybody
into a
who's looking
concert
for
real easy.
You know, in case you want to walk through some department store or something, you know, if you have a problem and you need to medicate right away, it's nice.
I've actually done that, and I just went.
Yeah. Well, before they came out with the law against doing that,
yeah,
I have, because there was no law, there was nothing against it because it was so.
You know,
new,
even at the last concert I went to at Budweiser was Bachman and Randy
Was what?
Bachman and the other guy.
Turner.
Half of the Guess Who. What's the other guy's name?
Well, it's either Bachman, Turner.
No, the other guy with the fuzzy hair.
Oh.
The singer.
The singer.
Oh my God, Al.
Anyways, I know who you're thinking of.
I couldn't. I didn't smell any weed at all. When we went to that, when I went with David to that, and
Burton Cummings.
Thank you very much. And you know, going to see James Taylor, which is a lifetime favorite. Unstoned. Well, I did mushrooms, but I couldn't smoke a joint at the Scotia building. Was it called Scotia? The Scotia.
Sure.
And I smoked a big fatty when I went in, but the concert didn't start for another 2 hours.
Oh,
you know, so I was, but I brought mushrooms with me, so I was munching on mushrooms all night and eating hash.
Okay, it says here this disposable pen is pure live resin extracted from hand harvested single strain vanilla boba flower.
How much?
$39. It's listed at the OCS.
That's the normal price. Yeah. 40. You know, between 20 and 40.
Yeah, they say potency is very strong, 74 to 80%. They use hydrocarbon as an extraction process.
Al,
yeah,
you're slurring.
Am I? Let's see what else. Carphenolene is a terpene, limonene, mycerine, and pinene.
A lot of
in Quebec.
A lot of enes.
It's grown outside with living soil
in Quebec.
Yeah, and its grow room lighting is sunlight.
It's grown in a province where you can't smoke it in public.
Where you can't grow public. Yeah, you can't even smoke it publicly.
No, you cannot.
It's fresh frozen. It's fresh frozen and it's hand trimmed.
Ooh, like that would make a difference.
That's lots of information. You don't usually get all that information.
Would being hand trimmed make a difference in the oil? Other than the fact that when you use a mechanical version of a trimmer, you do lose a lot of keef, but
yes,
it is it's very collectible.
Oh wow, yeah. When I used the one that I have access to, I used it in the past. The paddles, I called them hash leather joints because I stripped all the hash, all the trichomes that got on the straps that pushed the buds around, and stripped it all off. And I was rolling just straight joints of hash, nothing else. And they would smoke for like 45 minutes.
Nice.
They were great. But
he answered our question.
It cleaned off all the cannabis. I have a home lab set up using the tests the big labs use to calibrate the mass spectrometer. So there you go. He's got some equipment. Spectrometer. Oh, it won't be the last word I mess up.
So
No.
what are your thoughts? You've had a few minutes.
Oh,
What are your thoughts
this?
overall? Yeah. I got a nice ride going on.
Yeah. No, I don't mind this one. Don't mind at all.
I don't buy them,
next
you know.
week, next week I got a vape, another vape pen, but it's from Legacy 420.
I don't buy the pens because I have my trusty Shatterizer. See the big one on my wall above my head?
Yes.
And
Yeah.
I enjoy going out and getting. This week I have some Slurricane by Shatterizer in here.
Yeah.
Next week, who knows?
I've got some stuff, some harvested stuff that I'm waiting to make sure the humidity level is right, and then I'll be breaking out the Shatterizer so I can consume my pressed cannabis.
Are you're going to squish some of it and use it in the Shatterizer? Yeah.
Oh yeah. I got some. I got some cherry dragon. I'm getting all ready to squish.
I have not squished anything since I've been here. Well, that's not true. Maybe twice. I've only squished a few times. I haven't used it really, just because it doesn't make sense to me to go out and buy an ounce and then come in and squish a quarter and then only get a gram out of it.
Well, if you get a gram out of,
you don't know what you're getting when you buy a package of cannabis from the store, right? So it might not be the best for squishing. Some strains squish better than other strains, right?
Oh yeah. Well, I look at it this way: is if you use the same squishing method, the what you're gonna get out of it is what you put into it. If you put garbage cannabis into it, you're gonna get garbage dabs back out.
Yeah. So I stopped squishing because I felt I was wasting. But when I have an overage of stuff to play with, then I will definitely.
Hey, Buddy says that he says, I don't like using machines to clean cannabis. I don't like smoking pot light.
And it makes sense because it does kick off a lot of the
stuff. Like I said, I got a bunch of hash.
It's reclaimable.
Off of the paddles. Yeah. And then I spent like 4 hours cleaning the machine, trying to get all the trichomes off of it.
I spend a few hours a month cleaning my grinders.
Yeah, well, I had to clean mine right away because I had to give it back to the person I borrowed it from. Yeah. And he says especially the tumblers hooked up to vacuum machines, to systems, because they're pulling. Now I have had mine trimmed by a machine, just like what Buddy says, with a trimmer, with a vacuum machine. And once all my cannabis was trimmed, that there was stuff that was pulled. I knew going into it there was going to be loss, and the only way, even trimming with scissors, there's loss, but it's not like using a machine. It's just you got to do what Buddy does. You got to bring in 15 people to help you.
I got an ounce off one plant, an ounce, maybe a little bit more than an ounce off another, not even a quarter off the other two. So my trim isn't even worth using.
Yeah, I haven't got a clue what my harvest was like. I haven't got to that point of being able to weigh it. So, all right.
Yeah.
Other than on this,
would you buy it?
Would I buy it again? I'd buy it again. Yeah, versus buying just a straight up distillate one. Guys, I find with the straight up distillate ones that every toke is a cough.
Every toke is a cough. There's a motto.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Okay. Anything else you want to touch on product wise? If not, we'll continue the product review. I'll run that promo on the Happle, like I said, and then we'll go into the next segment.
This, guys, is a BT bottle with a little straw on the end of it. Okay. Back in the day, we used to have glass bottles, soda pop in glass bottles, okay? Soft drinks. And this was built for the old school hash. This is the hash that your uncles and your grandparents would get. And this is the stuff that we would all treasure whenever we could get it, because we thought it was the best stuff, because it's the constant. It was our form of concentrate.
Correct.
Right? When we were young, right?
Yes.
This is
To answer your question now.
Oh, here we go.
Forward. Oh, now you're going to cut this out if it doesn't work, right?
You just cut it out now. These are the 4 or 3 tools I use to form and shape the hackers.
So now once the prep work is done over on the lathe, it now has to come over to me to put the mouthpiece on and finish off the top part. So first up, I just need to clean up and close off the top that's left over.
First thing I'll do is I will heat up the corner and I'll push in the Maria, which is the circular love that acts as a stopper. Right? Whereas I'm kind of like, I'm 49 years old, but I don't have time to be an artist.
You know, each one is individual, though. There's only one of each. So it does make it art.
Oh, stop it. Okay.
There we go. That's a little promo on the Apple.
Every time you show that, I say the same thing. I enjoy Dave. He's you know, he's a very good teacher. And he explains. Both of them are.
Okay. All righty. I see Buddy's got a request. Looking for a link to buy the Apple. Okay. What I'm going to do, Buddy, is first off, because I've got that page open, I'm going to post a link to
Al's obviously having a hard time thinking.
No, I just multitasking. I improper wording. A dewdrop, right? Dewdrop.
How much dew does a dewdrop drop if a dewdrop could drop dew?
Yeah. Okay. There's the dewdrop.
The only time it's going to drop a dew is if you oversuck.
Okay, now I gotta find the apple. Farm.
Oh, there
that
we go.
Shouldn't be a problem. No, it's not a problem, buddy. I got it right here. We're good. Okay, I got the link for the apple.
We need some in-between music, some link music.
There's some music down at the bottom, isn't there?
Is there?
Yeah, isn't that in our brand? Isn't there something down
Oh,
there?
yeah, but that stuff will get us knocked.
Okay, there you go, buddy. I put up the link for the dewdrop as well as for the apple, or anybody else who's interested in purchasing one.
I haven't tried the apple, but I'm enjoying my dewdrop. Again, thank you, Master.
Yeah, I'd bring out my apple and show it to you, but it's dirtier than Al's dewdrop. That just means it's used, right? And I
Well
just haven't
used.
cleaned it. I got to clean it.
I'd rather see a review with a well-used bong than a clean one.
Well, maybe it makes it easier to see. You're welcome, buddy. You're welcome. All righty. Done that. I think it's time for us to move on to the headline.
You cut me off, Al. When you're ordering it, buddy, make sure that you tell them the Al's sent you. They'll know what it means.
They know. Well, that goes to as Dave calls them, the overlords. So yeah, it's not directly Dave's store.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Calls them. That's he called it the overlord store to us that when we were. So, all right. News time headline. There was a headline that you sent to me, and I am in the process of bringing.
I actually had it loaded, but it got closed.
And before I do that, I see. Oh, did it? Did I close it?
No, I think I did.
Okay, here we go.
Subliminal avoidance.
All right, there we go. Here it comes.
There we go.
No, I pushed the button. There it is. The brain on cannabis. Major changes linked to lifetime use. Casualty uncertain. What's this about, Al?
Well, you know what? The byline is a grabber because you're like, what? But the long and short of it is, it hasn't been that long since people have been using cannabis on a daily level.
Oh.
And they don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah, there's been some reports of some DNA structural changes or something along that line recently.
For
like this guy into it, just so you know. Yeah, this website must have a lot of pop-ups in it because it's really jumpy with me right now.
Yeah, I can see the jump seat. But you get the gist, so you might as well just explain it out. You've looked at it.
Yeah, his lifetime cannabis use is linked to several changes in brain structure and function in later life, according to an observational study published in the BMJ Mental Health. They say, however, a genetic analyst of the same data suggests these associations may not be casual. And that researchers believe that other identified factors may explain the observed differences through the emphasis that need for further research to understand the full effects of heavy cannabis use and high potency on the brain. And they said because legalization is increased worldwide, that this should be studied.
I'm surprised it hasn't been studied, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I know, man. They said that they said study population mythology. They said that they drew on 16,000 basically cannabis users participating in the UK Biobank for whom genetic profiling 2012-2013 and brain imaging MRI scans of 2014 to 2019 data were available. So they took those from old and then looked at the new ones to compare them. They say participants reported if they had ever taken cannabis, with response options ranging from once or twice to more than 100 times. I think we'd be in the hundreds of thousands, would we not?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's your point now?
I'm just trying to go through the article is all I'm trying to do because this seems a little bit different than the one than what I had reported on in the news.
You know, when I first started talking to my doctor,
genetic findings,
he said that the only concern he had about cannabis was inhaling it, and because and in his words, he said, "I don't want you smoking it because you're going to get cancer." Now, this was 20 years ago that he said this to me, and we know now that that is not the case. I mean, cannabis smoke does not cause cancer. Right? It's
No, yeah. They haven't found the last I knew. They haven't found.
They haven't found any links to that.
Right.
What it can cause is irritations and things like that. But
Yeah, and as in most studies, almost every study that I've covered, at the end of this one, they mention the more study has to be done, more research has to be done.
That's the out. That's the easy out. Yes, but we need more research.
We need more research. That's right. All right, now
it's 2024. Cannabis is the number one subject probably anywhere in the world, aside from the big orange guy, and yet we're still saying we need more research.
Yeah, well, I have read several places that cannabis is one of the most researched plants out there, but we need more research.
But when we have questions, we need more research.
Yeah, and you know why the research isn't done, and that's all because of prohibition. So they got you here and they got you there, right? Well, we can't do it because we don't have our own research, but we're not going to allow us to do that research to answer that question for you.
Not allowed to.
No.
No.
Alrighty. Let's see. Let me get this all lined up here.
A lot. What I'm seeing since legalization, though, Al, is a lot of the OG community, the old helpers in the cannabis community, the oil makers, as they're called. They're not even out there telling people how to make it and do it themselves anymore because it's illegal in Canada to make it that way.
Yeah.
Is it illegal? Is the process of using alcohol or other solvents? Is it legal in the States?
Explosive.
But is it legal in the States to use some of the same stuff? Yeah.
Federally, no. Well,
So
federally, cannabis is against the law, so any process would be. But in the individual states, that'd be up to themselves how they do it. I know here in Canada, you can't use any device or any substance that could blow up.
So you can,
and that includes high grain alcohol because they can do that.
They've come up with some ingenious,
even though it's not a solvent like.
They've come in some. You might as well get rid of that window, Al, because it's really slowing you down.
Yeah, I know it's a pain in the ass, isn't it?
But they've come up with some alternatives to extracting that don't use oil, but they're very expensive. You know, and I mean, how easy is it to get fucking dry ice, for God's sakes? You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, it's not easy. Well, that's the nice thing about the press, right? You just buy yourself a press, and you got no worry about explosion. And you've got
Darcy just got a Nug Smasher.
Did he?
Yeah, which I've been looking at those for years. I got about $1,000 into this squisher.
Yeah, the plates are like that much money. Yeah.
How much did you pay? Oh, you got.
I haven't bought the plates. I was borrowing Buddy's plates. He's got an extra set, so
yeah. But I mean, my plates with the box and all the electrical was $750.
Correct. Yeah.
You know, I didn't want to cheap out on the plates.
Mm-hmm.
Really.
Yeah. Now, Buddy's followed up on the studies. He says, "I can't wait for the future to see what legal studies will find." I agree, Buddy. I've often said myself, I like to be able to come back in 100 years and see what cannabis legalization looks like. And, you know, that would include all those studies and everything else. So, So there we go. I have got ourselves a sports story.
Lay down.
And
you got to play the promo first.
I'm playing the promo, but I just had to get it lined up there and let everybody know it's coming, because here it comes.
Sports.
Come on, start up.
Everything's all lackey gaggy today.
Yeah. Well, see, I'm not home alone today.
Your wife is home sick watching TV.
Yeah, but I don't normally have this problem. Like, unless it's like, there are some certain websites that do give me issues.
Yeah, but those are crawlers anyways. Yeah.
So in sports wise, that's what that promo was supposed to be. It's our sports. It's the article that I've grabbed today says that cannabis or marijuana no longer prohibited for fighters in Nevada after rule change. So there you go.
That's interesting.
Yeah, MMA.
Basically, any Vegas fights are sanctioned fights, which are usually in Las Vegas, right? Are get ripped before you fight. Mike Tyson's fighting on Friday, and he has said very openly that he is going to be ripped when he steps into the ring.
Oh, has he? I haven't followed it, so. So Nevada, they've removed cannabis as a restricted compound from the state's prohibited list. This means that the possession, use, or consumption of cannabis or cannabis products will not be deemed an anti-doping violation.
Awesome.
Yeah, this comes after many years of being considered a doping violation, and smaller named UFC fighters like Trevin Jones have had wins overturned to a no contest, essentially meaning the bout record officially is null for having cannabis detected in their bloodstream. They say the most controversial decision or penalty was in 2015 when fan favorite Nick Diaz was suspended for 5 years and fined $165,000 for using cannabis.
And Ross Regabludi, he won the gold for Canada at the Olympics in snowboarding, and was stripped of his medal and then given it back.
Correct. Yeah. And now he has a cannabis company selling cannabis.
Now he has a very large cannabis company out in BC.
Yeah.
Or is he in Alberta?
Out west, someplace.
Yeah, somewhere out there.
That's all I know. So there you go. Yeah. So MMA fighters and stuff go to Nevada, and there was no rule against your cannabis use.
What about boxing? Is that included with boxing as well?
Well, it just I've closed the window off now. It just says the Sports Association, and it talked about MMA.
Oh, probably both. Yep.
Yeah. They didn't say boxing or anything up.
But yet, in some countries, you can still be beheaded.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You could go in some countries. You could go to another country, consume cannabis. So let's say you lived in Singapore and you were going to come to Canada, and you came here because cannabis is legal here. Yep. And you walked in the store and you bought some cannabis, smoked your cannabis, and then you went back to Singapore like 4 days later, 3 days later, or whatever. And for some reason, they wanted to test you for cannabis. Maybe they saw you on social media somewhere. They can actually charge you with your consumption of cannabis while in another country. And the law stipulates the minimum sentence is 1 year in jail.
Yeah, we've gone from, 14 rules to 33 or 44.
Yeah, with legalization. I could see there'd be, if there was no laws against it, rather than being illegal, that when they made it legal, there would be some other stuff added, such as the driving end of things.
Yeah, yeah, and they still haven't perfected that. You know, when legalization first happened, as we were leading up to it, there was a lot of stuff going on about driving under the influence and what are the police going to do? And then they have a roadside test that'll test you for THC, but it doesn't really work very well. And fightable.
So if you get, there's like if you got caught with 32 grams of cannabis, you get fined. You're not going to jail for your overage, unless it's used in I'm going to say that creates a felon, I guess. If it's used in what is it? If it's used in the
like
trafficking,
perpetration of a crime or something, I'm sure the wording.
But if you happen to have,
we need Jack.
If you went to the store, you bought 2 legal bags of cannabis, right? And then a few days later, you're going to a buddy's place and you grab your 2 3/4 bags or whatever, not thinking of the overage weight of the 2 combined.
And if you run into an asshole cop, they're going to probably even have a scale in the car.
Yeah.
They can,
when I go to jail for 5 years or a year for that, but I guess because of the new laws, you would get fined for it.
When you go into a cannabis store, you can purchase 32 grams. 32 grams. I think it's actually 32 grams that you can purchase.
I don't know if 30, but go ahead.
Is it just 30? Or is it?
30 grams.
No, wait. It's 28 grams is an ounce, but you can purchase 30 grams.
30 grams is the new ounce.
Yeah, but
28.
When I go in and I get an ounce and a couple of grams of hash, so I'm obviously over, and they have to literally do it in 2 transactions, as you know.
Correct. Technically, I believe you're supposed to leave the store and then come back.
Yeah. I've had that argument before, like early days.
Yeah,
I've actually been asked to come back.
I'm trying to think if it's in the CanCell training on that end of things.
I don't know because I don't have my CanCell.
Yeah, I completely agree with Buddy on this. Acceptance of cannabis is on the rise. Correct. People are understanding that it has so many benefits than the evil that it was made out.
What evil? Right. There's no evil. What's so fucking evil?
Well, that's what the evil that was made out to be. It doesn't mean that he's not saying it was evil. It was all that stuff, like it's going to make you into a murderer. You're going to go around and slash people's necks because you smoked a joint.
No, that wouldn't be because I smoked a joint. That was because I hate you.
Well, yeah, but they were still blamed. We all saw the movie Reefer Madness. Did you not? The guy that
I was trying to think of the name. God damn it! I forgot the name of the movie.
Did you? Well, talking about movies, let's move on to the entertainment part of the broadcast here. You said you had something to do with the movie that you wanted to do a bit of review on.
Well, it's not a movie.
Oh, okay.
It's the 1 second here. It is it continues after the Batman. It's called The Penguin.
Oh, not the Joker. So these are spin-offs. The Joker's a spin-off. Penguin be spin-off.
It is a spin-off of the Batman.
Yeah.
And I just finished watching it, and I don't want to blow the whole thing. I hate spoilers. So I'm not even going to, go that far. It's
the trailer.
Dark. It's very, very, very dark.
Oh yeah.
It's let's watch the clip here. It's the actual trailer for the movie. And then we'll talk
Is
about
it because the Venom one was sort of dark too?
I enjoyed Venom. I'm going to watch it again. As I said last week, I enjoy the Venom. I over the Darkpool or Deadpool.
Hi, I'm Colin Farrell. Check out the trailer for my new series, Penguin.
Trust me, it's just the beginning. Come on. You gotta help me up.
Life is just a dream.
You promised me, Oswald.
I know.
I deserve a better life.
I'm working on it. World ain't set up for the honest man to succeed. That should be the American dream right there. You know, beautiful story with a happy ending. But that ain't the way the world works. America's a hustle. Not that I'm complaining.
Penguin, you waltzing in here like you mean something. We're in the middle of a gang war.
Carmine Falcone's dead. If we don't protect what's ours, we just look weak. The streets are talking again. They know there's only one man big enough to run this city.
Do you remember Carmine's door?
Oh, I didn't mean to interrupt.
Sophia, I thought you was still at
Arkham? No. I've been rehabilitated.
You're playing a dangerous game with his family, Hans. You think I want Sophia Falcone knocking on my door?
She is the hangman.
What is it you're really after, Oz?
Gonna tear down the empire from the inside out. Whoever controls the drug business controls the streets. I'll be running the whole damn trade.
I got him, Bishop. I can help you.
Hey! Feel alive, Vic, huh? Feel your heart beating?
This city is meant to be yours, sweetheart. What are you gonna do to get it?
Trust me. It's just the beginning.
Now,
There you go.
You know what? I'll tell you, Al. If you didn't know that Colin Farrell was in that, you would not know that that was him.
If I hadn't read it, I wouldn't have known. Correct.
I just watched an interview with him that he did, I guess, a few days ago on Jimmy Fallon on the Tonight Show. 3 hours in makeup every morning.
I could imagine.
45 minutes just to get the shit off of him. Okay. This
That's
is
4 hours a day in makeup.
5. Did I say 4 or 5?
You said well 3 hours and then an hour and then basically an hour to clean them up.
Yeah. This is the continuing Batman movies, shows, whatever. I read this morning, I don't know if this is true, but I read this morning in doing a little bit of research that there is work being done on a TV version of the Batman, which would continue this story.
Okay.
But there's also rumor that the Batman 2, the movie, is also going to continue on this story. So it'll be interesting to see. It's very well done. I really enjoyed it. And I'm interested to see. I just dropped a tack on the floor that I don't want to step on. I'm interested to see where it goes.
Yeah. Well, they've obviously made several different outs or different segments off of that Batman because of the characters, because they're all evil characters, and today's age they can go ahead and create those.
The last big Penguin character, I am here. Hi, Howard. The last big Penguin character that we saw in the Batman movies was Danny DeVito.
Correct. Yeah.
You know? So I
that, that's sort of what I was like when I was watching it. I'm thinking, okay, is he shaped like a penguin? Is that why he's the penguin? Because he was short and
they do call him the Penguin every now and then. But I've watched all 8 episodes. It's a limited series, so there probably won't be a second season. But you never know. What I would say, I felt that the character was very Al Capone type of person. You know, the Scarface.
Yeah, you could see the scars on him in
yeah. I thought that it was very, very Al Capone-esque, right? The same kind, because I've seen a lot of different movies and stuff like that. I like documentaries and stuff, so it just seems like he's Capone as a penguin.
As a penguin. Does he
a penguin?
Yeah, does he?
Yes, he does. He was born with a bad leg, so he does limp.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So
and he does have that beak and the forehead, and he waddles like a penguin. So I could see why people would call him the Penguin.
The beak is just because he's got a big nose or something.
He's been around.
Been around, yeah.
He's been around.
That's true. All righty. There you go.
Yeah, that was
review of the Penguin. Good stuff.
The Penguin.
Now, where did you see it?
On Prime.
Okay.
On Prime, I can't. It's on Prime, but it's in one of the subscriptions. But it is.
Okay.
I think it's on Crave. I think is what it is. I'm not sure, but it is available on Prime. You have to get a subscription for the network that it's on, though.
Okay.
You know, you were talking about MTV.
Oh yeah. That was it you or your sister that posted the MTV?
My sister got involved in the conversations. Yeah, we were talking about how MTV Canada has announced that they are departing the airwaves.
Correct.
But reality in Canada, MTV is owned by Bell, which is owned by which now owns Much Music and probably Rogers by now. I don't know.
Yeah.
But back in the day, Much Music Canada was here. It was our music station, and MTV was the music television in the States. The conversation that we had in our string there on Facebook was basically they have not put music videos out. I don't think they even have music shows really, other than making of the band and things like that.
Yeah.
What they're concentrating now mostly are on reality and dramas that they're producing out of the MTV Entertainment brand. And Tulsa King with Sylvester Stallone is one of those shows, and it's really big. There's a few other shows that they're producing out of the network, and they're really good, but there is no music. So whether or not I thought they were done years ago, to be honest with you.
Yeah. Well, that's what she was wondering, why they still call it music television.
I think they're just carrying on the brand, is what it is.
Just the brand,
right? They still call Much Music, although there's no music going on much at Muse. There's not much music going on at Much Music.
Now,
They still have the Much Music awards, that they do.
Yeah, do they?
They take over the city of Toronto downtown on Queen Street, and they do their
Oh, yeah.
award show. Yeah, sure.
Now he was actually, where am I going here?
Who's he?
Yeah, I know, eh? I just thought he doesn't know who I'm talking about.
No.
John Roberts used to be a VJ.
Oh yeah, he was one of the original VJs.
Correct. And now he's a news guy there for Fox News in the US.
Is he? I did not know that.
Yeah.
George Strombolopoulos was one of the original VJs, as well as Dan. He's gone now. Dan.
Yeah, he's in the Canadian Broadcast Hall of Fame. And
Yes.
and I knew this, but I can confirm that now. He went to the same school as my sister.
Oh.
At the same time. Yeah. Yeah, I can see it listed right here on his early life listing on what do you call this stuff? Wikipedia. There we go.
I lived down the road from Chris Magpiece, who was in Meatballs with Bill Murray, and My Bodyguard.
Do you know? Ever heard of Tulsa King? Okay, Tulsa King.
Tulsa Kings is.
We were talking about TV shows. There's buddies jumping in here on the Tulsa King.
Yes, you know what, buddy? I even said that the last episode because I really enjoy that show. I was like, those are fake ass fucking plants. Yeah, they're fucking. They look plastic. I don't know. You don't know the story, but anyway, Sylvester Stallone. Just to give you the story on Tulsa King. Sylvester Stallone is an ousted.
Is the show in Oklahoma? Because he says it's legal in Oklahoma. So
yeah, but they're not using real plants in the greenhouses.
No, right? Just fake plants, eh?
But his character is Manfredi. Frank, is it Frank Manfredi? But anyways, he's in the weed business. He's been ousted by the mafia in New York, and he's been ousted to Tulsa, and he's taken over, and he's the big weed guy in town now. And now he's going to get he's going against the triads and things like that. Yeah, it's done. It's what you would expect if Stallone was a gangster, and he's never done. I don't think he's done many movies where he's been a gangster, has he?
Yeah, normally he's that. Yeah, he's
but he plays a really, really good gangster kind of character in this movie. Or this show. I really like it. It's the second season into it.
I could see how he'd be a good gangster, just the look of him.
It's just the yo.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Him and Henry Winkler are very good friends, apparently.
All right. Yeah, you don't. Yeah, well, I knew him from Happy Days, but I know he's been in all kinds of different shows since then. But
they were in their first big. They were in their first one of their first big movies together. I should have these things up before I even bring the fucking conversations up.
Well, that's the thing. It's all just natural flowing conversation. It's not as if these were things that we had planned on discussing before we started the show, right? If just knew you had something you wanted to review, but the conversation always goes on longer. That's just
two other conversations. Right? Yes.
Yeah, he agrees. Buddy agrees. I like it too.
There's a few good shows on alternative networks now. We don't call them TV networks now, streaming networks. There's a few good ones that I've been watching, which of course I'd have to bring my phone up to mention them. I guess I can do that. But there are some good shows. Every now and then for a few years there's no good shows on, and then a whole bunch of good shows come on. I enjoyed the Chicago shows, Chicago Fire, Police,
right?
And but the Chicago Med, I'm not into.
I just don't get into sometimes watching shows for some reason.
All right.
All right. You got anything else you want to discuss, or shall we wrap things up?
Are you making a pun?
It wasn't intended. I went, oh,
I am
well,
done,
that's
sir.
Huh?
I am done.
You are done. All right. Well, okay. Then we are done. We've gone through our segments. We'll
It's
be back.
time to go sit on the couch, and they did clean up my garbage.
The birds?
No, the garbage man.
The garbage man. Really? They
It was all. It was. I put garbage out just before the show.
Yeah.
Because we're not allowed to put it out earlier. We're not allowed to put it out before 7 a.m. because the
and
animals
the
get
show
into it.
the show doesn't start till 10. So you can put
I
it out. at
put
9,
it
you're
out.
fine.
I put it out about 9:30, quarter to 10.
Yeah.
And not 5 minutes into the show, garbage everywhere all over my lawn, and apparently the garbage men have cleaned it up for me and just emptied my can and said have a nice day. So
that's good.
Thank you, Terrace Bay
Yeah.
garbage man, whoever
Right.
you are. We'll call you Bob.
Bob. There you go. That works. Thanks,
Say
Bob.
goodbye, Al.
Goodbye, Al. Bye, all. You're watching the 420 Pace Network, found at 420radio.ca and paceradio.net. Are you looking for non-stop, continuous cannabis and psychedelic programming? If you are, then turn your browsers to 420radio.ca or paceradio.net, where you will find the 420 Pace Re-Rolled Saturday. Everything gets started at 8 a.m. Eastern Saturday morning.